Welcome to the TBA's annual Lawyers Luncheon. On behalf of the TBA, Board of Governors, and our amazing staff, I want to thank you for being here and for your support of the TBA over the past year. We have a lot of ground to cover today, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to get started so we're not here at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Please go ahead and eat. Continue to eat while we start the program. Before we get started, I want to acknowledge the dignitaries that are here with us. First, I want to acknowledge our elected officials. If you serve in the judiciary, please stand so that you can be recognized. Come on, judges, I know you're there, yeah! If you serve our state in the Tennessee General Assembly, as a constitutional officer, as an official with the executive branch, or are otherwise elected to serve the people of the state of Tennessee, please stand so that you can be recognized. Next, I'm going to ask all leaders of local, state, or national bar associations to stand, including executive directors here with us today. Come on, you're here. Thank you. Finally, if you are a past president of the Tennessee Bar Association, please stand so we can recognize you. Now I'd like to introduce you to our head table. We have, second from my right, former Supreme Court Justice Roger Page, TBA President-elect Charlotte Knight Griffin, TBA Vice President, to my left, John Farringer. Next to him is TBA Vice President-elect and current Treasurer Mary Beth Maddox. At the far end, our new TBA Treasurer, Jennifer No, TBA Secretary, Terica Smith, TBA General Counsel at the far left, Kimberly Silvis, and YLD President, Judge Alex McVeigh. And finally, YLD President-elect, Jennifer Sneed Perry. Please give them a round of applause. And just as a matter of personal preference, I want to thank those at my table here. These people have been instrumental in my life, for many of them for over 30 years. They've enabled me to serve in this capacity and carried me through the last year. And I want to recognize Jonathan Cole, Lisa Cole, Jason Long, Carol Ann Long, Mark Castleberry, Jennifer Pearson Taylor, Megan Davis Culver, Audrey Lee, Dan Swanson, and Ben Jones. Thank you for being here today for this long luncheon, but more importantly, I want to recognize you for making this year possible. Next, I want to thank our sponsors and exhibitors who've made the convention possible. First, a very special thank you to our luncheon sponsor, Miles Mediation and Arbitration. Please join me in welcoming Tangela Richmond to the podium to say a few words about the company. And did I say your name right? Tangela, like Angela. Welcome to the podium.
Thank you so much for allowing us to sponsor this wonderful luncheon for this group. We really appreciate our partnership with the Tennessee Bar Association, and we are happy to support your events. Also, we're happy to be here to celebrate former Justice Roger Page as he receives his award today. He's part of our Nashville panel, And we hope that if you have any dispute resolution needs in the future, you will consider using our Miles panel. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy lunch.
In addition to Miles Mediation, we've had a host of other sponsors who helped make this entire week possible. Thanks for supporting them. Thank you for visiting their booths and taking the time to talk to them about their services. Our very generous sponsors include Platinum sponsor, Miles Mediation and Arbitration, Silver sponsors, Lexitas and SoFi, TBA Member Insurance Solutions, Bronze sponsors, Clio, Easy IT Guys, Jams, LexisNexis, and the Bar Plan. Copper sponsors, Conservatorship Association of Tennessee, Duck Hunt's Medical Records Retrieval, Esquire Deposition Solutions, Pinnacle Financial Partners, Tennessee Lawyers Assistance Program, and Time Miner. Finally, I want to thank the companies that participated in yesterday's tech showcase. They are Arbor AI, Big Cloud Consultants, Clio, Digital Ideation Group, Easy IT Guys, LexisNexis, Lexitas, Our Family Wizard, Paladin, Scipio Technologies, Schaefer Technology Solutions, Robotics AI, and Writerly Practice Management. We could not have this convention unless you were here to support us. Thank you for your support and for your relationship with the TBA. All sponsors, please stand so that we can thank you for making convention a success. Now it's time to announce the final winners of our exhibitor passport drawing. Everyone who visited with our exhibitors and got them to sign each block of their passport is eligible to win. The first winner will receive a $100 restaurant gift card from TBA Member Insurance Solutions. The second winner will receive free registration for next year's convention in Memphis. The winners can claim their prizes at the registration desk immediately following the conclusion of the luncheon. Our winner of the restaurant gift card is Olivia Wan. Olivia, congratulations. And the winner of our free registration for next year's convention is Pat Vitale. Congratulations to you both. Thank you to everyone who visited the booths. Now I'd like to recognize our outgoing board members. And I want to thank each of you personally for the hard work and your service to the bar this year. It's been my honor to serve with each of you. The members of the board who are leaving, I'm going to ask Farringer to assist me with plaques. Do you have plaques for them? Yes, they're over there. Tanya's going to help. Shauna Billingsley. Joe Kirkland. David McDowell. Judge Alex McVeigh. You have to go get a plaque. Jennifer Pearson Taylor. Cheryl Patterson. Matt Willis. And Karen Anderson, who I know is not here with us today. And last but not least, our immediate past president, Ed Lanquist, who has also already left the building. But he has served the TBA well for many, many years as general counsel and as president, and this year past president has been really supportive of me. So thank you to Ed in his absence. Finally, I'd like to ask current members of the Tennessee Board of Governors to stand and be recognized. Thank you. I'm truly in awe of the level of commitment and work from each of these TBA leaders. They work each and every year to produce timely programs and informative publications, as well as all the policy and legislative initiatives. We're so thankful for those of you who served in leadership positions this year. And now the House of Delegates. If you're a member of the House of Delegates, most of you know that the House considers debates and makes policy recommendations to the Board of Governors on matters of interest and concerns to the legal profession. The House is a vital part of our association, and I know the Board appreciates their guidance and thoughtfulness. I'd like to recognize Speaker of the House, Shauna Billingsley, Deputy Speaker Deb House, and Secretary Steve Conley. Thank you. The House elected its leaders for next year at its meeting on Wednesday. Congratulations to Deb House, who will be taking over as Speaker of the House, Steve Conley, and Deputy Speaker Stanley Ross will be Secretary. And if you are a member of the House this year, will you please stand and be recognized for your service? Next, I'd like to recognize the TBA Young Lawyers Division and all who have served in leadership roles for the YLD. Please stand so that we can recognize you. One of the best ways to get involved in the TBA is to join one of our 33 practice group sections or one of our 14 committees. The level of engagement of our section and committee leaders is amazing, and we really couldn't produce the excellent programming and forums without their hard work. If you served as a member or in leadership of one of our section and committees, please stand so we can thank you for your service. Lastly, I'd like to acknowledge the work of our Tennessee Bar Journal editorial board, led by Chair Andre Bloomstein. Thank you for your time, diligence, and commitment to ensuring that the TBA produces a high-quality journal. I'd like every member of the journal board here who is here to please stand and be recognized. I'd like to take just a minute to thank our staff. They're amazing. They are responsible for this event. If you see any of them, please tell them what a great job they've done, and I'm going to call out their names. Please hold your applause until the end. Chelsea Bennett, Director of Access to Justice and Strategic Initiatives. Chelsea's not in here? Oh, good. Just remain standing so we can see you. Yeah, stand. Okay. Lanny Brown, Assistant Executive Director. Derek Dishner, Director of Finance and Accounting. Hank Elliott, AV and Webcast Coordinator. Stacy Schrader Joslin, Advertising and Media Content Coordinator. Laura Labenberg, Director of the YLD and Law Student Development Coordinator. David Lazar, Data and Systems Specialist. Brooke Leeton, Education and Professional Development Coordinator. Linda Murphy, Receptionist and Membership Coordinator. Jamie Rode, Education and Professional Development Coordinator. Mindy Thomas, Director of Membership. Asia Thornton, Communications Coordinator. Tanya Trezise, HR and Administrative Coordinator. Jennifer Vossler, Director of Education and Professional Development. Julia Canada Wilburn, Editor of the Bar Journal. Jared Word, Senior Education and Professional Development Coordinator. And last but not least, our Executive Director, Cherie Wright. Please join me in thanking them for their service to the TBA. Thank you. And now I'd like to call to order the TBA annual meeting. And for our first item of official business for our luncheon, and as previously noticed to our members, I now declare the annual meeting of the Tennessee Bar Association open, and will now have a reading of the minutes of our prior meeting. I hear a second? All in favor? Motion carries. We'll move on. Next, I'd like to call on our treasurer, Mary Beth Maddox, who will give us a report of the financial status of the TBA.
As Heidi stated, I'm Mary Beth Maddox. Welcome to Knoxville, those of you that I don't see very often here. I have been very honored to serve as the treasurer of this association for 3 years, and I'm also honored to be charged with keeping the funds that you entrust to us intact and seeing that they are well spent. And I'm pleased to report that the Tennessee Bar Association is in excellent financial standing once again this year. We owe that fact to the leadership of our staff, especially Derek Dishner. We all know how important he is. And we just thank you all for your efforts in that regard. Thank you for your support.
Thank you. There being no further business, I declare the annual meeting of the membership of the Tennessee Bar Association adjourned. And next, I'd like to introduce you to YLD President-elect Jen Sneed Perry, who will give us a few remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jennifer Sneed Perry, and I am the incoming president of the Tennessee Bar Association Young Lawyers Division. I am excited to have the privilege of recognizing my friend, Judge Alex McVeigh, for his exceptional contributions to the Tennessee Bar Association. During the nearly 10 years we've known each other, I have continually been inspired by Judge McVeigh's deep commitment to expanding access to the legal profession. Through his leadership this year of the state's largest mock trial program and the launch of Mock Trial 101, he has opened doors for students in rural communities, strengthened civics education, and inspired the next generation of lawyers. He has also championed opportunities for first-generation lawyers by helping lead meaningful CLE programming and conversations that provide visibility, mentorship, and a clearer path into the profession for those who may not have seen it as possible. And through his Drug Court 101 CLE, he educated attorneys about Tennessee's recovery courts. At the same time, Judge McVeigh has advanced the Young Lawyers Division's broader mission of public service through facilitating and supporting public service initiatives, recovery court education, and statewide clinics, while strengthening professional development through innovative programming and collaboration. Above all, Judge McVeigh is a thoughtful and inclusive leader who brings purpose and dedication to everything he does. Please join me in recognizing Judge McVeigh for his lasting impact on the Young Lawyers Division and the Tennessee legal community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jen. I just want to take an opportunity to point out the amazing work of the YLD this year. The division is in great hands with Jen leading the way for the year to come. But not only did we demonstrate we are still the public service arm of the bar, but over the last couple years, the Young Lawyers Division has contributed exponentially to the CLE offerings of the Bar Association. So I can't thank the members enough for all the amazing CLEs that you have helped produce. In addition, I want to point out just a couple programs, the Rural Judicial Fellowship that our fellows are here, as well as our DLI, Diversity Leadership Institute. These programs are helping new generations of lawyers. Last but not least, I have been a member of this division for 13 years now. I promise there's not a violation there. But during that time, I have never worked with an individual who is such a blessing to this organization, but really in all of my, any organization I've been a part of, I've never worked with a staff member that cares more for lawyers and who does an absolutely amazing job than Laura Labenberg. Thank you so much for all your work.
And now, I'd like to present the Justice Duarte Award. I'm honored to present this outstanding award for judicial service. It is given to a judge or a judicial branch officer of the federal, state, or local court in Tennessee who has demonstrated extraordinary devotion and dedication to the improvement of the law, our legal system, and the administration of justice. All is exemplified by the career of Justice Frank Duarte. It's chosen by the Executive Committee of the TBA. It's based upon open nominations received by the Executive Committee. This award is the TBA's highest honor for service to the judiciary, and it has been given annually for more than a decade. In addition to the recognition by his or her peers, the recipient is allowed to direct a gift to the charity of the recipient's choice. I am honored and privileged to announce that the recipient of this year's award is former Tennessee Supreme Court Chief Justice Roger Page. Justice Page retired from the court in August 2024 after nearly 30 years on the bench and 2 years as service as Chief Justice. After first contemplating a career in pharmacy and becoming a licensed pharmacist, Page pivoted to the law, earning his law degree from the University of Memphis Cecil C. Humphreys School of Law. He spent several years in private practice as an assistant attorney general before becoming elected to the 26th Judicial District Circuit Court. He later was appointed to the Court of Criminal Appeals, and then in 2016 was appointed to the Supreme Court. From 2021 to 2023, he served as the Chief Justice of the court. Justice Page was selected as this year's award recipient for his years of service to the Tennessee legal community, including his strong advocacy for improving access to justice, especially in Tennessee's rural communities. He also has played a key role advancing resources for indigent defense, as well as expanding access for self-represented litigants. One lawyer wrote, in support of Page's nomination, that throughout his career, he has, quote, embodied the highest ideals of the judiciary without regard to external pressures or personal consequences, and consistently treated all who appeared before him with respect and civility. Justice Page's legacy indeed will have a lasting impact on the courts he served, the lawyers and judges he mentored, and the countless individuals who benefited from his fairness, compassion, and dedication. Justice Page, please come forward and receive your award.
Thank you, President Barkas. I am very humbled by having an award that is connected to Justice Frank Drowoda. He was a personal hero of mine, a mentor, and he was the first person who told me I ought to apply for an appellate position. He started his career as a judge very young. He was a lawyer for 5 years and then became a chancellor in Davidson County at the age of 32. At the age of 36, he went to the Court of Appeals. At the age of 42, he became Supreme Court Justice and did that for 25 years and served 2 terms as chief. When I was Chief Justice, I was lucky enough there were still some staff attorneys who had worked for him. If I had a particular difficult problem, I would call and explain the problem and say, what would Justice Drowoda have done? He left us way too early at the age of 79 in 2018. My wife, Carol McCoy, and I were privileged to attend his funeral. It was a beautiful, wonderful celebration. I want to thank my friend Barry Howard, who nominated me for this. He's a colleague at Miles Mediation. And since I sat down up here, I've been looking for my wife, Carol McCoy, and I can't find her. So I couldn't see because of this podium. Okay. I couldn't have done any of this without Carol. And I stand on the shoulders of my parents and grandparents. My father was a World War II veteran. He got 3 Bronze Stars. As Governor Haslam called him, he was a true American hero. And my mother was such a champion of the family. I tell people I could have committed murder on Court Square and it would not have been my fault. But thank you all for this award. I appreciate it very much. And I'm humbled by getting it, as I said. And when I look at the prior recipients, I'm just happy to be in their presence. Thank you so much.
Our next award is the Reeves Professionalism Award. The Judge Pamela L. Reeves Tennessee Professional Award is awarded each year to a lawyer or judge whose life and practice displays sterling character and unquestioned integrity, coupled with ongoing dedication to the highest standards of the rule of law and the highest standards of the legal profession in Tennessee. The award is presented jointly by the TBA and the American Inns of Court and is named in honor of the late Judge Pamela Reeves, former Chief Justice of the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Tennessee, the first recipient of the award. Reeves was an active leader in both the American Inns of Court and the TBA, where she was elected the first female president in 1988. The award is presented to a lawyer or judge residing in the Grand Division of Tennessee, where the TBA's annual convention is held. Award recipients are selected by a special committee consisting of the TBA president, the TBA president-elect, the president of the Tennessee Judges Conference, and the president of the American Inns of Court, located in the Grand Division in which the award will be presented. Nashville School of Law Dean and former Tennessee Supreme Court Justice William Koch chairs the committee. This year, the committee members were Judge Lisa Rice, designee of the president of the Tennessee Judges Conference, Bill Hanna, designee of Jimmy Rogers, president of the Brooke Cooper Inn of Court, James Stovall from the Hamilton Burnett Inns of Court, Charlotte Knight Griffin, Dean Koch, and myself. This year, Reeves' husband, Charles Swanson, is on hand to present the award. Please come forward as we announce the recipient. This year, the award is being presented to U.S. District Court Judge Tom Varlin with the Eastern District of Tennessee, who is being honored for his lifelong tenure on the bench, including handling of many of East Tennessee's most publicized and significant trials, and exhibiting the highest level of integrity and professionalism in his work. Presentation of this award this year is timely, given that Judge Varlin has announced that he will take senior status this fall. In a letter supporting Judge Varlin for this award, the other judges of the district court praised his judicial temperament and his selflessness exhibited while serving as Chief Justice in the district. In particular, they pointed to his decision to end his term as Chief Judge 6 months early so his colleague, the late Judge Pam Reeves, could become the first female judge in the history of the district. Had Judge Varlin served his full term, Reeves would not have been age eligible to succeed him. An outstanding number of his current and former clerks wrote in support of his nomination. I wish you could read what was submitted to the committee. They say that Judge Varlin approaches his judicial duties with the utmost care and attention to detail and exhibits patience and neutrality, even during the most complicated or emotionally charged hearings. They also say that the values exhibited in the courtroom are not merely public displays, but are fundamental to his personal character, noting that he treats all personnel with respect and application and kindness. It's exhausting, but look who the recipient is. Throughout his judicial service, Judge Varlin has exhibited the ideals embodied in the award, demonstrating character and integrity for the rule of law. The fact that he served with Judge Reeves and sacrificed his own interest to see her rise to the position of Chief Judge makes presentation of an award named in her honor all the more poignant. Judge Varlin, please come forward and accept your award.
President Barkas just stole every bit of my thunder. But I do want to take just a second to say it is a very great honor to present the Judge Pamela L. Reeves Professionalism Award to Judge Varlin. As President Barkas said, the award is annually presented to a lawyer or judge whose life and practice demonstrate sterling character, unquestioned integrity, coupled with ongoing dedication to the highest standards of the legal profession. And that description sounds like it was written with Judge Varlin in mind. Character, integrity, and high standards are what his life is all about. You know, I actually knew Judge Reeves. And I feel like I knew her well enough to know that she would have been thrilled and honored that this award is being given to Judge Varlin. When she assumed the bench, Pam and Judge Varlin were great colleagues. Before her time on the bench was completed, Pam and Judge Varlin were great friends as well. And I know that she would be very gratified by the fact that Judge Varlin's long and distinguished career is receiving at last some of the recognition it absolutely deserves. Judge Varlin is a native East Tennessean, born in Oak Ridge, grew up in Knoxville, received an undergraduate degree from the University of Tennessee, law degree from Vanderbilt. After graduating from Vanderbilt, he succumbed to the allure of big law and joined the firm of Kirkland and Ellis in Atlanta. Proving his suspected brilliance, however, when he was provided with the opportunity, he returned to East Tennessee in 1988. And proving that he was a great lawyer, he served for 10 years as the law director of the city of Knoxville. I think Judge Poplin will agree that being a city law director means you're a great lawyer. After a brief return to private practice at Bass Berry, Judge Varlin was appointed by President George W. Bush to serve as an Article III District Court judge for the Eastern District of Tennessee and confirmed by the U.S. Senate in 2003. He became the chief judge in 2012 and remained in that role until 2019 when, as President Barkas indicated, his generous gesture of resigning the chief judge position several months early allowed Pam to become the first woman to serve in that position. Time doesn't permit us to review the important and meaningful cases that Judge Varlin has presided over during his career. Suffice it to say, there have been many, and Judge Varlin has conducted each of those trials in his typical careful, dignified, and even-handed fashion. No one worked harder or was more well-prepared to deal with issues in complex litigation than Judge Varlin. He has been a true servant of the law for this district throughout his career. He has earned the respect of all who came before him and always demonstrated respect for those who participated in the process, whether they were parties, lawyers, court staff, or even merely spectators. He has been an ideal judge and will continue to do so even as he now assumes the senior status at the court. While his public career has been truly remarkable and should justifiably be a source of pride for Judge Varlin, at heart, he is a family man, completely devoted to his beautiful family, many of whom are not able to be here today to celebrate their father and grandfather because they're returning from a long-planned trip to Judge Varlin's beloved Greece. His wife, Danny, is here with us today. Tom and Danny have 4 amazing children, Georgia, Susanna, Alex, and Paul. They have 6 grandchildren, ranging from the ages of 8 to 3, 6 pair of sets of twins in there. And I'm told there's a 7th due literally within the week, next week. I am reliably advised that it would be a vast understatement to say that Judge Varlin dotes on those grandchildren. So now we know why he has chosen to take senior status despite his apparent youth. For all of those reasons, it is a very great privilege and honor on behalf of the Tennessee Bar Association and the American Inns of Court to present the Judge Pamela Reeves Award to Judge Tom Varlin.
Thank you, Heidi and Charles. I don't know if I still have my 3 minutes since I got a double introduction, but if you'll bear with me just a moment. I kind of feel like we're at the Academy Awards today, and I jotted down a few notes just in the event I were to win one of the awards, which I was at one of my son's wedding a couple years ago, and I made some notes in my phone and got up to give my speech, and my phone started blinking, low battery. So I went old school and just jotted down a few things on paper. But I am very honored to receive the Judge Pamela Reeves Professionalism Award. I'd like to express my appreciation to the TBA and the Inns of Court for my selection. I also want to take a moment to recognize Heidi Barkus, again, for her year of service as TBA president and for all the work she's done for the organization and for lawyers across the state. Thank you, Heidi, for that. In attendance today, as Charles mentioned, is my wife, Danny, my strongest supporter, who didn't let back surgery and a cumbersome back brace from interfering with her being here today and sharing in this award with me. Also popping in from next door's Civitan Club meeting is former U.S. Ambassador and Knoxville Mayor Victor Ashe, who brought me back to Knoxville from private practice in Atlanta and started me on the path to where I am today. Thank you to all the judges who nominated me for this award. I was not only humbled but surprised, as they did a good job keeping the application submission from me. I'm joined today by my fellow co-district judge in Knoxville, Katie Kreitzer, and District Judge Chuck Ashley, by Knoxville Magistrate Judges present and past, Debbie Plopland, Jill McCook, Cliff Shirley, and Bruce Guyton, also Magistrate Judge Cindy Wyrick from Greenville, by 2 of my current law clerks, Kate Lemon and Kaylin Stone, and former law clerk and Knoxville attorney James Parker, and Scott Queener of the U.S. Probation Office. Thanks to each of you for being here and for submitting and fostering my nomination for this award. Again, thank you, Charles, for presenting the award and for your kind remarks. Charles Swanson and Pam Reeves were among the first lawyers that I met when I returned to Knoxville as city law director, and who would have imagined that many years later, Pam and I would serve side by side in the Eastern District of Tennessee's Knoxville Division. It is so fitting that this professionalism award is named after Pam. She was the epitome of professionalism, integrity, and service throughout her legal career, both public and private. I've had many highlights as a district court judge, having been blessed to serve now for over 2 decades, including 7 years as chief judge of our district. One of the pleasures and privileges I had as chief judge was to swear into office new judges, probation officers, U.S. attorneys, and the like. And certainly among the highlights as chief judge was to administer the oath of office to Pam as a new district judge, and later as my successor and chief judge for the district. I treasure my professional and personal time with Pam, as I know so many of you in this room do, and I humbly accept this award with her name attached to it. Professionalism and integrity are essential components of our profession, as is, as the award notes, ongoing dedication to the highest standards of the rules of law. I have sought to uphold and demonstrate these standards in my rulings, judicial demeanor, and fair treatment of those who appear before me, and I will in the years ahead continue to strive to display these same attributes that led to my consideration and receipt of this award. So thank you everyone very much.
I now have the pleasure of introducing a series of awards honoring individuals who have made a significant impact this past year. When your name is called, please make your way towards the table up front and receive your award from John Farringer. The first is the Joe Henry Award. The Justice Joseph W. Henry Award for Outstanding Legal Writing was established in 1981. It is given each year to the lawyer who writes the most outstanding article that's published in the Tennessee Bar Journal during the preceding year. The Joseph Henry Award is always chosen by a committee unrelated to the staff and the editorial board of the journal. The committee is comprised of the Chief Justice of the Tennessee Supreme Court, or a designee, deans of the state's law schools on a rotating basis, and president of the Tennessee Bar Association. This year, the judges were Court of Criminal Appeals Judge Jill Ayers as designee of Tennessee Supreme Court Justice Jeff Bivens, Dean Lonnie Brown, the University of Tennessee Winston College of Law, Dean Matt Lyon, Lincoln Memorial University, Duncan School of Law, and myself. It would not be a TBA lunch without a sneeze by John Tarpley. The winning article was chosen from all of the articles published in the journal in 2025 that were written by TBA members who are actively practicing law. Along with the honor of receiving this award, the authors will each be awarded a check for $500. The winning article is One Domino Falls, the Tennessee Supreme Court Reshapes Foreclosure Claims, written by Eric Halverson and J. Hunter Robinson of Nashville. The article, published in the March-April 2025 journal, explored a Tennessee Supreme Court decision clarifying that Tennessee law does not recognize an independent cause of action for wrongful foreclosure, resolving a split of authority that had been bubbling up at the Tennessee Court of Appeals for decades. Eric is an associate at Bradley in the firm's banking and financial services practice group. In his litigation practice, he represents individuals and business entities at both trial and appellate court levels, with a focus on resolving commercial disputes and financial services-related litigation. Halverson received his law degree from Belmont University College of Law, where he served as an article and notes editor for the Belmont Law Review. Prior to joining Bradley, he clerked for Judge Neil McBrayer at the Tennessee Court of Appeals. Hunter is a partner at Bradley, representing clients in litigation and compliance matters across the country, focusing on resolving business disputes. His experience spans numerous industries involving private equity, commercial real estate, healthcare, manufacturing, and cannabis. Robinson's compliance practice focuses on solving problems for cannabis companies and their vendors. He received his law degree from the Emory University School of Law, where he was a member of the Moot Court Society. Eric and Hunter, please come to the side here with John Farringer and receive your award as we recognize your important work. I'm now pleased to announce the recipient of the Claudia Jack Award. This award is named for the late Claudia Jack, a longtime public defender who was a champion of the poor and underprivileged. This award is presented annually to an outstanding public defender or court-appointed private practitioner who has served the legal community and clients in an exemplary fashion. This year's award recipient was selected by a committee consisting of the Vice President of the Tennessee Bar Association, Chair of the Access to Justice Committee, Chair of the Criminal Law Section, Speaker of the House of Delegates, and Chair of Juvenile and Children's Law Section. The recipient of the 2026 Claudia Jack Award is Peter O. Peter is an assistant federal public defender in Memphis. In a letter supporting O for his award, several Memphis-based lawyers said that his work is characterized by a boots-on-the-ground dedication that far exceeds the traditional expectations of any counsel. He frequently goes above and beyond by meeting his clients' families in informal settings on his own time to provide updates, comfort, and to ensure that they feel heard. This holistic approach to representation, treating the client as a human being with dignity, is just classic Peter. Nominators also highlighted O's impact on the profession as a mentor, investing hundreds of hours in the next generation of Tennessee's legal community. Peter began his career as a law clerk in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Alabama. He then joined the Public Defender's Office in Northern Virginia and later moved to private practice in Washington, D.C., spending a number of years focused on corporate liability insurance. Eventually, he stepped away from that career to recommit to public service. In 2014, he located to Tennessee and joined the Federal Public Defender in Memphis. Please come to the front and receive your award, Peter, as we recognize you for your important work. The next award is presentation of the Fourth Estate Award. The Fourth Estate Award is selected by an ad hoc committee of the Communications Law Section and will be presented by committee member Jay Harbison.
Being on this committee is one of my favorite things that I get to do. One of the things about it that makes it so great is that we get to look at really interesting pieces of journalism from around the state, oftentimes from smaller communities. This year's recipient is from Knoxville, though, so he's from a slightly bigger publication. But good Lord. The TBA created this award to honor courageous reporting on justice and the law by Tennessee-based journalists. And I'm very pleased to present this year's award to Tyler Whetstone, an investigative reporter here with the Knoxville News Sentinel. Tyler's being honored for a series of stories on a Knox County prosecutor who was fired for making inappropriate social media posts. And if you've seen the articles, inappropriate might be an understatement. Not only did Tyler report the facts of the case over a series of stories, but he also importantly used the situation as an opportunity to educate readers about how a DA's office vets and oversees those that we entrust to enforce the law. In his nomination submission, Knox News executive editor Joel Christopher said that Tyler's reporting, and I agree with this, raised important constitutional questions about public employees and free speech and how those two things intersect. Our committee charged with selecting this year's award recipient all agreed unanimously that Tyler's reporting helped educate the public and promote improvements in the justice system, which are the criteria. Tyler, please come receive your award as we recognize you for your very important public work. Thank you.
The TBA Young Lawyers Division Fellows Leach Award is selected by the Fellows and will be represented by Fellows President Mason Wilson.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the YLD Fellows, I'm honored to present the 2026 William M. Leach Jr. Public Service Award. Named for our state's former Attorney General, this award is given to a Tennessee lawyer who has been of outstanding service to the profession, the legal system, and the community. The list of recipients is distinguished. It includes the likes of Senator Howard Baker, Senator Lamar Alexander, Don Payne, Judge Pamela Reeves, and many other esteemed Tennessee lawyers. I can't think of anyone who fits the bill for this award more than Buck Lewis. Buck is widely respected in the legal, business, and government communities in Tennessee and across the nation, and he is well known for his dedication to public service. Buck's list of achievements, awards, and honors is remarkable in its length, its depth, and its breadth. His achievements would fill a general ledger. I don't have time to go through them all. I will give you a few highlights. President of the TBA, the Larry Wilkes Distinguished Practitioner in Residence at UT's Winston College of Law, founder of UT's Pamela Reeves Institute for Professional Leadership, where he has taught lawyers as leaders for the last 14 years, as well as at Tulane, LSU, and for FedEx. President of the Memphis Bar Foundation, chair of the Tennessee Supreme Court's Access to Justice Commission, chair of the ABA Pro Bono and Public Service Committee, founder of Free Legal Answers in Tennessee, which expanded nationwide as the ABA's Free Legal Answers, as well as internationally in Great Britain and Australia. Founder and trustee of the Justice Frank F. Drowoda Trust to support organizations providing legal services to low-income individuals in the state, and he also led fundraising efforts for that, raising $500,000 in direct donations and $2.5 million in bequests. Chair of the Red Cross Advisory Boards, both in West Tennessee and East Tennessee. He served on the board of the Tennessee Justice Center and chaired Memphis Area Legal Services Campaign for Equal Justice. His work has been recognized with the Justice Janice M. Holder Award for Access to Justice from the Tennessee Alliance for Legal Services and the W.J. Michael Cody Pro Bono Award from the Memphis Bar Association. Most recently, alongside Dean Emeritus Doug Blaze, Buck presented a three-part TBA CLE series named Mockingbirds and the Rest of Us, about the lessons from the Aaron Sorkin stage version of To Kill a Mockingbird. The list goes on. He's won a slew of Lawyer of the Year awards, but like General Leach, Buck is a dedicated mentor to young lawyers. I can attest to this personally. I've known Buck since I began practicing law over 25 years ago and first got involved with the TBA YLD. I've known Buck as his law firm associate and as his firm partner at Baker Donaldson, where he serves as chair of the firm's appellate group and has previously served as chair of the litigation department and business litigation group. Despite the whirlwind of activity in which he must live, there's never been a day or a time when Buck wouldn't stop to aid and mentor a young lawyer. He shepherds associates at Baker Donaldson, he guides baby lawyers in the TBA, and he teaches budding attorneys at UT. His devotion to raising future generations of Tennessee lawyers is unfailing. In sum, Buck Lewis has a hunger to help others. He's a giver, he's a helper, he's a leader. He embodies service to our profession, our legal system, and our communities. Please join me in recognizing Buck as the recipient of the 2026 William M. Leach Jr. Public Service Award.
Mason, thank you for those kind words and for 25 years of friendship. I'm grateful for you. I'm going to begin, of course, where I must begin. 18 years ago, Marcy, 18 years ago, we were in Gatlinburg for a convention, and I called her the girl with the $1 million smile. And she's liked that appellation, but it's not enough, because whenever something has appeared on our radar screen, she's put on her paralegal hat, rolled up her sleeves, and gone to work. She gets me articles, she gets me people to talk to, she tells me books to read and videos to watch. She is a font of helpful information. She has been my secret weapon for over 30 years. Thank you, sweetheart. I think you still got the smile. I've been at the same law firm since 1981. I want you all to know that there is a young man in Memphis named Patrick Zanone. And Patrick wrote the Free Legal Answers Code, he curated the Free Legal Answers Code, and he just rewrote it to put it in the cloud and make it AI compatible. I don't know where we would be with Free Legal Answers without Patrick Zanone in our Memphis office. By the same token, there is a young man here from Nashville named John Hicks, who has been with me on this project since the start. He has been our ethics counsel, he has been our project counsel, and he has whispered in my ear when I needed to shut up. And so, John, thank you for your lifetime, your 16 years of commitment to Free Legal Answers. I do want to shout out, Ed's not here, but Ed Lanquist, tremendous progress on indigent defense funding a couple of years ago, and compliments to the whole TBA for getting so much done on that issue as well. And I want to remember my longtime mentor, Leo Bierman. Leo was president of the Memphis Bar. He taught me how to try a jury and a non-jury lawsuit, but more than that, he taught me how to live a rewarding life. And we all miss him all the time. I want to thank our family on the TBA staff and our family of TBA past presidents, our family at Towels. I wish that Tim Hughes was here today. I'm not going to tell you where he is because it'll embarrass him. But this guy has looked after Help for TN, the phone system, and Free Legal Answers forever. And he's added value all along the way. Thank you, Ann. Thank you, Laura. And then thank you to a special lady who is here from Florida, Samantha Sanchez, right there next to Melinda, was the point person that Ann designated on Free Legal Answers, and she attended, I don't know, 50 or 60 tech team calls. Free Legal Answers hit 498,000 questions this morning, and it's in no small part due to your great work. To the College of Law, especially Dean Emeritus Blaze, who has a 50-year reunion today, of course, and he's not here. But Doug invited me into the law school community, and it allowed me to then invite 400 or 500 students into my life, and how enriching it's become. Harry, my TA, is here today, and it's just been a wonderful experience. And there was mention made of the Drewota Trust. I just want to shout out to our fellow trustees. Jim Barry is here, Claire Drewota is not, Doug is gone. But special shout out to Justice Lee, who single-handedly created the content and stood up drowodatrust.com last year. Mason said it'd be okay if I spent a minute just telling you a little bit about General Leach, because I'm probably, not necessarily, but probably going to be the last recipient that knew him. And I knew him, Justice Page, when I was clerking for Justice Drowoda, and he would come to see him. At that point, he had been Attorney General for 2 years, but he had been President of the Constitutional Convention. He had served as a judge. He had served for various charities and in private practice. And I just want you to know what a great choice that the young lawyers have made, because he had that certain something, that stature. John Wilkes, if you're here, your dad, Larry, had it. He had that stature. He had that voice. He just had it. And he was so well respected because he was so true to Tennessee values. There was no secret agenda with Bill Leach. It was just what was best for the state of Tennessee. And there was mention made of Howard Baker and Pam Reeves. And if you look at the recipients, you'll understand why I'm not worthy. But besides that, think about Howard Baker and Pam Reeves and how different that they were, but at the same time, they were similar because of their commitment to access to justice, to the rule of law, and to a fair and impartial judiciary. And that's what binds General Leach to these younger generations, and that's what binds us all together. So, young lawyers, y'all have knocked it out of the park by memorializing and honoring General William Leach. Now, I'll close by telling you my favorite Mr. Rogers story. If you go to Pittsburgh, you may see a little video. And the fact is that Fred Rogers was so compassionate as a young man, he would get upset when disasters were coming somebody's way, especially if children were in the path of the disaster. And his mother would try to comfort him, and she would say, "Now, Fred, there's always going to be disasters, but Fred, there's always helpers. Always look for the helpers." So I am so grateful for this recognition today from the young lawyers, but Melinda and I are just as grateful that so many of our friends are helpers, and that so many of the helpers of our are our friends. Don't you ever stop. Thanks, y'all.
I want to thank you for allowing me to serve as president of the Tennessee Bar Association. It has been the honor of a lifetime. I've gotten to know many of you better. I promised a year ago at this time that I was going to focus on member engagement and making the Tennessee Bar Association a home for everyone. I'm deeply committed to the importance of bar associations to lawyers of all ages. I focus particularly on first-generation lawyers. This year we have a home, finally, 3010 Poston Drive in Nashville. Please come see us. It's a wonderful place. We've already held CLEs there, and we have a home. You have a home there. I want to just take a few minutes to give some President's Awards. These awards are discretionary, and they are reserved for individuals who went above and beyond this year in their service to our association. As I announce your name, please make your way to John Farringer, who'll give you an award. The first is a batch award to everybody who served on the TBA Legal Access and Regulatory Reform Task Force. When I started, I had no idea that a month in to my presidency, or a couple months in, the Supreme Court would drop a 7-point order on us and ask us to make comments about changes in the practice of law. Really monumental changes that could affect all of us in our future. And so I put together a task force, and I want to give a President's Award to everyone who served on that task force as a group, that we just, come one at a time so we can move through this presentation. But everybody said yes. Everyone that I called said yes, and it was not a small feat. I guess while they're getting organized for their photograph, the next award is to Sarah Shepard, who chaired that task force. And I know for sure Sarah didn't know what she was agreeing to when she said she would do this. When I agreed, and y'all allowed me, really, to be Tennessee Bar Association president, I met with Sarah, and I asked Sarah how to do it, what to do, and I got tremendous guidance from Sarah. I'm proud to call her a law partner, and y'all can leave Sarah there for to stand alone for the President's Award. Thank you so much, Sarah. I'm forever Thank you. The next award is a special award also to someone who I would not have made it through this year without. Many, many late night calls and panic calls to my friend and role model, Howard Vogel. Howard, you have a special award that only you and I will know what it means, and it is the Hit the Ball Drag Charlie Award, and your plaque says that. So thank you for your mentorship and your advice. Please note these are both past presidents that are still deeply committed to the Tennessee Bar Association, are taking time to mentor those that came behind, so thank you. And finally, I have a deep commitment to what I think is our flagship program, the T-Ball program. And Jeff Lewis and John Wilkes, if you'll please make your way to John Farringer for an award. These two work tirelessly in this program. I can't imagine the number of hours. They're very quiet about it. I attended the T-Ball opening session. John Wilkes bought dinner for everyone on the committee. He didn't ask for reimbursement. They're secret and they're sly about how much they give and how much time they give, but I want you to know it's recognized. I appreciate it, and it's important to the future of the bar. Thank you, Jeff and John. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you for this year. And I am going to introduce you to your next Tennessee Bar Associate TBA President, Charlotte Knight Griffin. Charlotte began her career in private practice in Memphis after earning her law degree from the University of Tennessee College of Law, now the Winston College of Law. She joined Memphis Light, Gas and Water as a staff attorney in 1978 and was named manager of legal services in 2000. She retired in April 2023 after 45 years of service. Charlotte has been active in the TBA for years, most recently serving as president-elect, vice president, speaker of the House of Delegates, and a member of the Board of Governors. She's past chair of the local government practice and litigation sections, a charter member of the Young Lawyers Division, a past executive officer of the YLD, president of the TBA YLD Fellows. She's also been involved in legal organizations at the local, state, and national levels, and is a fellow in the Memphis, Tennessee, and American Bar Foundations. Shortly, she will add the title of TBA President to her resume. Please join me in welcoming Charlotte to the podium. Just one more sentence. Charlotte, I'm thrilled for you, and I look forward to serving with you under your year of leadership. Congratulations.
Thank you, Heidi.
Charlotte will be sworn in today by Tennessee Supreme Court Justice Page, and I want to present her with the presidential award, ring. Justice Page, if you'll come forward and swear her in. And there's the ring.
It is my honor and pleasure to administer this presidential oath of office to you. Please raise your right hand and respond, "I do," to each of the following questions. Do you, Charlotte Knight Griffin, affirm that you will faithfully discharge the duties and responsibilities incurred by you through your acceptance of the presidency of the Tennessee Bar Association.
I do.
Do you agree to make the welfare of the association and its members your primary professional consideration during your term of office?
I do.
Do you affirm that you will serve the organization faithfully in pursuit of its objectives and the embodiment of its precepts, and that you will attempt at all times to enhance the ideals of and respect for the legal profession in Tennessee, and that you will serve the association with dignity and honor during your term as president?
I do.
As you have affirmatively responded to each of the charges I have given you, it is my pleasure to therefore declare that you are officially installed as the 146th President of the Tennessee Bar Associations. Congratulations and best wishes.
Thank you. There's kind of an echo with this thing. So I have to retrieve the run of show so I know what to talk to y'all all about. So thank you, Justice Page. Heidi, thank you so much for your service to the TBA. I look forward to having you on the board another year and for your future leadership of TLCF. On behalf of the board, I'd like to present you with a gift to show our appreciation.
Thank you.
We also have a short video with highlights from your service on the board and your amazing year as president. Let's go ahead, y'all gonna play it? Yes. Let's give Heidi another round of applause. Okay, so I want to thank you all. I am honored by your trust and humbled to serve as president of the Tennessee Bar Association. Like my predecessor, Heidi Barkas, I'm a first-generation lawyer. You've heard I'm a very proud graduate of the University of Tennessee College of Law, now the Winston. And early in my career, I was very fortunate to work with lawyers who believed service in the Bar Association was what lawyers do. But I'll have to admit that I've enjoyed every minute of that service. No one makes it to this position by themselves. I'm here at this moment because lawyers that I respect invited me to serve. Like my friend, Bill Haltom, who asked me to take my very first role in the TBA with the Tennessee Young Lawyers Conference. So I'm going to tell you, I really say Bill is responsible for all of this. I'm also, it's also colleagues and friends who suggested I run for a seat in the House of Delegates, which I enjoyed thoroughly for quite a long time. And finally, because my friends Jim Berry and Tasha Blakeney urged me to run for this office. Along the way, I have been blessed to have generous advice and support from so many friends and colleagues in the bench and the bar. I am very proud of my Memphis roots, proud of the lawyers and judges who helped shape me as a lawyer, and proud to be a part of a profession that, at its best, builds relationships, strengthens communities, supports the justice system, and opens the doors of justice to those who might otherwise be left outside. So many of you have asked what my priorities for the coming year are. I want us to build on the TBA's strong foundation for supporting lawyers and the justice system and educating the public by focusing on two of our goals: public education and access to justice. These goals are connected by a common belief that lawyers have a unique role to play in helping people understand our system of justice and making that system more accessible. Perhaps the best example of one of the TBA's public education programs is the Tennessee State High School Mock Trial Competition, which is organized, hosted, and judged by our fabulous Young Lawyers Division. Through their work since the inception of the program in the 1980s, the competition has expanded to reach students across 14 competition districts and involved 108 teams from across the state this year. It helps introduce students to advocacy, procedure, and public service. I hope we can expand on this and other public education programs in the coming year. My second priority is increasing participation of senior and retired lawyers in pro bono representation. The need in Tennessee is clear. Access to justice resources show that more than 1.2 million Tennesseans are eligible for legal aid, while only a few hundred lawyers statewide are employed to meet those civil legal needs. Our young lawyers and mid-career lawyers cannot fill the remaining need alone, leaving many without meaningful legal assistance. The consequences are felt not just by individuals and families, but by courts and communities as well. Senior and retired lawyers are, in my opinion, an extraordinary and underused source of wisdom, skill, and service. They bring judgment shaped by experience, and many are looking for meaningful ways to stay engaged and give back. The TBA, excuse me, I think I talked too much last night. I'm losing my voice. The TBA now offers a statewide pro bono portal that centralizes volunteer opportunities, cases, clinics, and training resources in one place, connecting lawyers with more than 15 legal aid providers and partner organizations across the state. These tools matter because they lower barriers to service. They make it easier for lawyers to find opportunities that match their schedules, their experience, and their interests. And they make it easier for organizations to connect willing volunteers with real needs. During this year, I hope we can work with legal aid organizations, local bar associations, and courts to increase awareness of the emeritus pathway, expand training and mentorship, and create flexible opportunities for attorneys to serve. Some senior attorneys may want to advise at clinics or answer questions through remote platforms such as Tennessee Free Legal Answers. Others may be interested in mentoring younger lawyers handling pro bono cases, or in taking on direct representation themselves through an approved legal aid partner. There should be many doors into service, and we should open them all wider. These priorities also speak to who we are as a profession. Law is not only a career, it's a public calling. And we are stewards of institutions, professional values, and the promise that justice should not depend on a person's resources or familiarity with the system. I can't do this work alone. The strength of the Tennessee Bar Association has always been its members. Lawyers from every region, practice setting, and stage of career. I ask young lawyers to bring their enthusiasm, mid-career lawyers to bring their leadership, and senior and retired lawyers to bring their experience. And I invite local bars, judges, law schools, and legal service providers to partner with us. I am grateful for the opportunity to serve, and I am optimistic about what we can do together. Let us teach the next generation how our justice system works, invite seasoned lawyers to help us improve access to justice, and show through action that this profession remains worthy of the public's trust. Let us move forward together with purpose, humility, and an unwavering commitment to justice for all Tennesseans. Thank you to our guests, honorees, and to the board, House of Delegates, and other leadership for your service. Thanks to each of you for joining us today. We look forward to an exciting year ahead, and included in that is a trip abroad to Sicily in the spring. Stay tuned for details about exactly when and everything about that. But before we adjourn, I would like to ask that the members of the incoming 2026-27 Board of Governors meet, I'm thinking at the Grand Staircase again, for our annual board photo. Please enjoy the rest of your day and safe travels back home because, of course, as I said, we're meeting in Memphis next year, and I think it's going to be fabulous because we're all going to be there, all the lawyers, all the judges, young lawyers, we're all going to be in Memphis. And with the help of the young lawyers and the judges, this is going to be a great convention. So please enjoy the rest of your day and have safe travels back. Thank you. Meeting is adjourned.